Alright, boys. So, for the first official episode of the Quarantine Chronicles, okay, I have to talk about the first time that I ever did Xanax, okay? And so this was probably like a week after after the breakup incident. So, I'm all sad and depressed and stuff, and I'm like, yo. And like another thing about me too is I have horrible anxiety. And everybody always talks about like how Xanax, it's gonna fucking take all your emotions away and shit, and it does, but it's in a very terrible way. Like for some reason, I'm thinking like instead of getting actual anxiety medicine and stuff from like an actual doctor, why would I do that when I just buy sketchy drugs from some dude on the street? That was my thought process for some reason. Like it just made sense to me. And so my buddy call this guy Joshua. Joshua had been through like a little bit of a bar phase, like the year, maybe like a year or two before this. Like this was our senior year, and he went through his in like junior through like a little bit of like sophomore year, I think. Like he started like sophomore year, then quit like at the beginning of like junior year. And so, I'm telling him that like I just wanted to like try Xanax and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I just don't know any plugs. And he's like, dude, um, he starts telling me about this guy, and he's like, yo, like this guy, like he has the best like quality, like best like looking sands that I've ever got from anybody. And he's telling me about the guy like more and more, and like I'm like, oh dude, I remember that guy. Like he tells me the guy's name. I'm like, dude, I remember him because like we used to buy like weed from this dude like way back in the day. But this dude, like he eventually like he quit selling weed, and he only sold like hard shit. Like he sold like everything, like even ketamine, dude. And like that's the one thing that I regret not trying from this guy, especially. um but so so anyways, he's like telling me about the guy, and I'm like, oh dude, I remember that guy. Like, yeah, I'll hit that guy up then. He's like, all right, sick. And that was like, we probably had that conversation on like a Monday. And so, I'm talking to my friends, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do it on like Friday. That way, in a little group chat, like I'm texting, I'm like, yo, like on Friday, I'm gonna, buy some bars, and I'm probably gonna do them. That way I'm like with you guys if I fucking die, or like if I need some help or something. That way you guys like got me, all right? And they're like, yeah, dude, for sure. Like we got you if something happens or whatever. And so all throughout the week, for some reason, I'm so like hyped. I'm so like ready, dude. And Friday comes around, and I text this dude at like 10 in the morning, dude. Like I'm in the middle of the class fucking texting this plug, and I'm like, yo, like let me get some bars, dude. And he's like, all right, sick, like how much do you got on you? And I'm like, I have like 35 bucks. He's like, all right, dude, I got you. And back in the day, like bars were only like, they were like 5 bucks like a pop. So I got like seven, but he usually like hook it up too if you got like a lot. So he probably gave me like, I think he gave me like eight. So he only gave me one more, so I guess it's not like the craziest deal ever, the craziest hookup. But so anyways, um, he's like, yeah, dude, like, when you get out of school, and I'm like, oh, I get out at like 3, and he's like, all right, I got you. And like this guy, like looking at his face, like he had to be like 16 at the time. Like we were 17, and this guy looked like a fucking baby, dude. Like I don't know, like how old this guy was, or like if he even went to school, if he had ever been to school in his life, cause like he just fucking trapped, dude. Like he was like living the trap like dream, you know. Like it was actually kind of crazy. I kind of respect it to be honest, but like anyways. So he's like, yeah, like at 3, like I'll come fucking drop some off for you, and I'm like, all right, sick, dude. And so um every Friday, like we go somewhere, we end up going to like a park, or like we go skate and stuff, like me and all my friends. And I was never good at skating. I was just there for like the marijuana and the good times. But anyways, so he's like, yeah, dude, I got you or whatever. Like, just let me know like where you guys are at, like around that time then. I'm like, all right, sick. So we get out, we go wherever we're going. I think we just went to like a park this day. And so the plug comes, he gives me this fucking bag and with these, 6 Xans in it, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, like this is happening, like this is real, dude. And it's only like it's like 3:15 at this point, like we just went straight to the park like after school, and I'm just like sitting there debating with my friends. I'm like, dude, like, should I take it? Should I like not take it? Like, should I do it right now? And they're like, well, I mean, it's only 3 o'clock. Like I was like, dude, I don't want to be like all barred out. So like, I'll probably do it later. And they're like, yeah, like do it later. Don't do it right now, so you're not all fucking, just tired and like barred out all day. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. And so, the night starts kind of wandering, kind of winding down, We're just, wandering around this park and stuff, just like trying to find stuff to do. And eventually, it's just like me, uh, Jose, my friend Greg. That's what we'll call this guy. Like his name's not actually Greg. We'll just call him Greg. Greg's like my best friend. Like even like to this day. And one of my other like homies. He doesn't really need a name in this video because he's not like very important. He's just kind of there. But so, anyways, like I'm, just kind of we get into Greg's truck and we're all just kind of like chilling, just us four. And at this point, it's like 9 o'clock, and so I'm like, fuck it, like I think it's time to like test these babies out. And they're just like, oh shit, dude, like all right. And I'm thinking to myself, and like I asked them too. I'm like, what should I do? Like, should I just like fucking crush it up and like rail it? Should I like pop it or like, what do I do? And because I had always heard, it's like if you're gonna snort something, it's gonna fuck you up like way faster and like way harder than like just popping it. And it's not like Xanax and like most pills. They're not like that. Like if you're gonna snort a pill, like you're kind of an idiot. That's not like Coke, where it's just gonna like smack you in the face like immediately. Um, Especially with Xanax, like it's not water like soluble. Like it doesn't dissolve in your nose and all that, and like absorb into you. It literally like it just the powder kind of just turns into like to like little pieces of like sand, dude, like gravel. Like it just hurts and it just fucking hurts your nose and it's just not a good time at all. Like don't ever snort Xanax. Don't ever do it at all, but especially don't snort it. But so anyways, like I didn't know that at the time. So all my friends and Joshua, because Joshua is a fucking idiot. Like we're not friends anymore. He's kind of a scumbag. So Joshua's like, yeah, dude, like anytime I snorted it, like I get fucked up. That's why I used to do it. I'm like, all right, whatever. And so, I'm like, all right, I'm only gonna do half. Okay, like I'm only gonna do half this bar because it was my first time. And they're like, all right. So I break up. I get out my notebook. I like break up this like half piece of the bar, but the other half like back in the little baggie. And I just crushed up. I'm just kind of sitting there looking at it. I'm like looking at my friends. My friends are all looking at me. I'm just like looking at this like notebook, dude. Everybody's like looking at each other and then looking at me and then looking at the powder, and I'm doing the same. I'm just looking around and like, I'm just nervous, dude. And so before I even like give myself like a chance to like back out, I just impulsively, I just fucking get out a dollar bill, dude, and I just fucking smack this line. And I'm just sitting there like I'm like coughing and like gagging, trying to like not let, any fucking powder get out of my mouth, like trying not to cough any powder out. But it was awful, dude, because like so Xanax tastes like literally like how cat pee and like nail polish like smells. Like that's what Xanax smells and tastes like. It's not good. It tastes awful. It's fucking don't ever do it. Don't even think that it tastes good or anything. But it does kind of grow on you. It grew on me at least. But anyways, you know, everybody's kind of looking at me at this point, and they're all worried, and they're like, "Dude, like, are you okay? Like, are you good? Like, do you need anything? Like, do you need to go to a hospital? Like, do you feel all right? Like, all this stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I don't really feel anything at all. I just got a fucking gross taste in my mouth." And they're like, "All right." And so, this is like I kind of, start getting the drip down my throat. like at this point, because we're just sitting there like kind of talking and about it and stuff, and like I'm describing this like, how it tastes and stuff, and then I'm like, oh shit, like the drip's going down my throat, and it's like even more gross now, and they're just like shit, and so we're still just kind of sitting there like talking and stuff, and maybe like another like 45 minutes goes by, and it starts to kind of I start getting a little loosey goosey. I'm like, oh man, like I think it's starting to like kick in now. And we're still just kind of sitting there though, like um it starts to kind of kick in, but it still wasn't even like anything even close to like a weed high. Like I've gotten like way more baked than I've felt like right now. But it's like slowly rising, as the time goes by. And so at this point, like it it starts getting to like 10, like it's starting to get kind of late. And usually every Friday, like my friends would stay the night at my house, but um this time, like the homie Greg, he was like, yeah, I can't really stay the night at the house, so I got shit to do in the morning, so I'm gonna take you home soon, and then like I'm gonna take these guys home because I live the farthest. Like I got all my friends, so like Greg would like usually take me home, but he would take everybody else like with him, so that he didn't have to drive back by himself. And so I'm like, all right, fuck it. And we're kind of sitting there though, like before we leave, and I'm like, well, I don't know, like I'm not really like fucked up. Should I just take the rest of this? Like, should I just pop it? And they're like, fuck it, dude. Like, if you want to, like, fuck it. And so, no hesitation at all. Again, I just pull out the bag, I just pull out the other half, and I just pop that shit. And I live a good like 20 minutes from like where we were at. So I pop this. I have all the drip going down my throat. Like I'm an idiot for doing this, honestly. So they're texting or no, they're like talking to me on the way to my house and stuff. And they're like, yo, like make sure you text us like as soon as you get inside. Like let me know or let us know like what's going on and everything. Like try to text us and stuff. And I'm like, all right. And so I get out. By the time I had gotten out of the car, like I'm starting to, get, like I'm kind of like a little bit barred out. Like I'm not like fucking like just brain dead at this point, but I was starting to like really feel it. And I walk inside, and my mom's like sitting on the couch like in the living room, and I just kind of like walk past her, just kind of walk past her, try to avoid that at all cost. And I'm like sitting in the kitchen. I'm like, shit, dude. Like for some reason, every time I would do Xanax, I would get so hungry. Like I would get like weed munchies, but from Xanax. And it's kind of weird because I didn't even get that from fucking weed. But anyways, I'm like, damn, like I'm so hungry. And my mom goes, oh, well, we have taquitos like in the freezer if you want some. And I'm like, yo, that sounds fucking gas, dude. Like I'm so happy to hear that, dude. It's best news I've ever heard. It's like that's what it felt like. So, I go get a plate. I go get a fucking shit ton of taquitos, dude. Microwave those bitches. And I just sit down on the couch next to my mom, and I was fucking up these taquitos, dude. And in the middle of me, like eating these taquitos and talking to my mom, like it literally felt like I just blinked. Like I just blinked, and then I like just woke up. Like I wake up on my side, like on the couch with like a blanket over me and stuff, and I still had my fucking shoes on and like everything, dude. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I'm so confused, dude. I had the fucking plate of taquitos next to my head, like everything, and I'm so confused. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like what happened? And I look at the alarm or the like little cable box thing, and it says that it's like 8:30 in the morning, and I'm like, what the fuck? And like I'd only gone into my house for a good like 10 minutes. Like I literally walked in, went straight to the kitchen, started cooking and stuff, and then sat down and like talking to my mom. And then that's when this happened. Like I that or felt like it happened at least. So I'm still just confused as fuck. I like pick up my phone, and like sure enough, dude, because I thought the cable box was wrong or something. I'm like, no, dude, like there's no way I actually like fell asleep for that long, almost 9 hours, dude. And I'm just fucking baffled, dude. I look at my phone, it's like 8:30, and my phone was blown up, dude. Like the group chat was blown up. And they're just like, dude, what the fuck happened? Like, what happened? And I'm like, I have no idea, honestly, dude. Like, I just fucking, I was eating taquitos. All I remember is eating taquitos, and then I just woke up. And they're like, "What the fuck do you mean?" I'm like, "I don't know. Like, I think I blacked out or something." And a couple minutes after that, my mom comes in, and she's like, "Yo," like she kind of looks at me like kind of concerned, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was just like, "What do you mean? Like, am I okay?" And she was like, "Well, last night, like, we were talking and stuff. Like, you were literally like in the middle of eating a taquito." And you just kind of slumped over and just fell asleep. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, you literally, like, you had a taquito in your mouth and you just slumped over and just went to sleep. Like, it was kind of scary, like, I'm not gonna lie, and all this stuff. And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, I was like shitting bricks at this point. And, she's like, yeah, like, did you guys, like, party a little too hard last night? And I was just like, oh, yeah, I was just, pretty tired, pretty baked and stuff. Like, I just fell asleep. And she's just like, oh, she just kind of laughs it off. And like, I just kind of laugh it off. And then I tell like everybody in the group chat about, me falling asleep with the taquito in my mouth. And they're just fucking gassing me, dude. They're just like, there's no way that actually happened. I'm like, apparently it did, dude. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it happened. But that's one thing that I didn't know about is like Xanax blackouts, dude. It's a whole different breed. Like, when that full bar kicked in, the full 2 milligrams or whatever, I was fucking gonzo. And with Xanax blackouts, it's literally like you blink and you just wake up wherever you're at. Wherever you happen to wake up, that's where you wake up. Whatever you're doing, when you blinked, that's, what you're gonna wake up doing, It's gonna feel like no time has passed. And especially with as much as I've like drink and like the ridiculous amounts that I've like drank in the past, like even then I've rarely ever blacked out. Like I've only blacked out like 3 times from drinking ever since I started when I was like 15, dude. And yeah, they're just a whole different breed, dude. So especially like, I mean, don't ever do Xanax anyways, but if you're gonna do it, dude, like for harm reduction's sake, please don't do a full 2 milligrams, dude. It's just fucking stupid. It's not even fun. It's not even worth it. You're just gonna black out with fucking taquitos in your mouth. But so, yeah, that was my first time, the good old taquito blackout. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Um, like, subscribe. Uh, oh, leave a comment, dude. Leave a comment. I forget to say that. Send this video to fucking uh I don't know if I said Barack Obama or Joe Biden last one. I don't know. Send it to one of those guys. Send it to somebody. Um Follow me on Twitch and Instagram. Username in the description. And yeah. Till next time. Drop my chiefer.